In this tutorial, you're going to learn how to create MIDI note data using step-time data entry, both within the key editor and the drum editor. Let's start by creating two 8-bar empty MIDI events for each of these two tracks. The first is a VST instrument track set up to work with Hallian 1 and a jazz grand piano sound. The second is a VST instrument track, again working with Hallian 1, but this time working with the stereo GM drum kit. You'll also notice here that it's been set up with a GM drum map. We start with the piano part and open this in the key editor. Make sure that the cursor's at the beginning of the piece and check that the step input button's turned on. Now select the pencil tool and simply click in notes using the keyboard on the vertical axis. Just like this. I can play notes in like this, and you'll notice that each note has the same uniform note length and the same velocity. This is set up and governed by the quantize settings and the length quantize settings in the key edit window. At the moment, these are set to 1/8 or a quaver note. If you turn off the step input button and use the pencil tool, you can draw in notes of any length and any time position, like this. Let's now select those notes and delete them. Okay, let's now make sure that the step input's turned on and the record pitch is turned on. This will allow us to input note data in another way. I have a MIDI keyboard connected, and if I set the quantize values to quarter notes or crotchets, I can now use my MIDI keyboard and play notes, and they'll be entered into Cubase. I can even enter chords. You'll notice that each note is positioned a quarter note apart and is of a uniform length of a quarter note and has a standard velocity. This is fine if you want to record music where every note's of the same length, but if you want to actually start creating music where there's notes of different lengths, you're going to have to change the quantize value and length quantize each time there's a change in note value. Let's now change this to 8ths, play it down, and you can see that it's down to 8ths. Let's change it back down to crotchets or quarter notes. And you can see that we've now got a mixture of both. Now change back to 8ths. And you can see you've got a range of different note lengths. Quite quickly, Cubase is able to enter a lot of note data by playing it in step time off of a MIDI keyboard. This can help reinforce finding pitches on a keyboard for students in a class. Now let's turn our attention to the drum track and open this in the drum editor. Let's make sure that the cursor's at the beginning. And now select the drumstick tool, and we can start to very quickly click in individual notes. The snap here is set to 1/8 or quaver notes, and you'll see that I can input individual drum beats at this 1/8 note positions, which is on the line within the grid. Here's some snare drum patterns. Now choose the hi-hat, and you can see if I drag along, I can create a series of notes based on the quantize value of 1/8. Let's have a listen to this whole drum pattern now. And you can hear the rhythm playback. So very quickly you can see that using step input to enter note data both into the key editor and the drum editor is a really straightforward and easy task, and one that's really useful for those students who can't perform in real time.